All right. Welcome to the second podcast of Fans of United. I'm Devon McCarty, along with Chris Wimmer and Eric Hunsaker. Hi, Mom. I don't know if anyone else is listening, but thanks for joining us.
Right on.
Definitely. So we'll start with a recap of the weekend's game, DC versus New England.
Good result.
Good result.
On the road, you know?
Yeah.
It's, in my opinion, it's kind of a story of like the stats that aren't really telling what really happened because I just didn't think they played that well.
Yeah.
They got the points, which is important. They scored goals. Pine scored a goal. D-Row gets the assist. But overall, like I don't know. I'll start with the positives because I always kind of hammer them down.
I just
and
want to
I
say,
wrote them down.
Points on the road are worth more than
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
positive is a win.
It's a great win.
Yes, winning the game.
Winning
I'll take
is
that.
good, right? And like you said, they're on a 4-game unbeaten streak.
Did I say that? Did I?
I don't
know if I said that.
Someone around there.
Yeah.
But right away, I noticed, especially in the first half, the number of shots on goal were up right away. They were just putting a lot of pressure.
You could tell me.
Matt Reese made a save that looked like, wow, that's going to be on saves of the week.
I mean, before we get to D-Row, how bad did he want to score? I mean, that bomb he had in the first half, and he's pulling out bicycle kicks.
Not outside the box. It was way outside the box.
Way outside the box.
Yeah.
So,
bicycle kick. And then I saw somebody later do a bicycle clearance just to try and put themselves in the highlight reel.
I think I saw about 5 bicycle attempts in that game. I haven't seen that since like 8-year-old soccer or something.
That was cool. And they jumped out to an early lead, and it was really good of DC United to not let that sort of put you into bandage mode where you're sort of retreating. I felt like we kept the attack high and fast and swift.
Yeah, they stuck to the game plan.
And we kept it up in their, other end.
I mean, it's never good to give a goal on the road in the first 5 minutes of games. I mean, I thought New England did a good job. They came out flying.
Yeah.
And but DC kept their composure. I mean, 10 minutes, 12 minutes later, they got a goal back, and they're back in the game. And I mean, they even from the time that New England scored, I thought DC did a good job of still maintaining possession. I mean, they weren't flying forward and throwing crazy numbers forward, trying to get back right away.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lot of corner kicks, we had a lot of free kicks. I mean, they were peppering them. So it was, I don't know if it was the best 90 minutes that DC has played so far. I don't think so either.
But the results there, right?
The results there.
And the trend is such that we're continuing to build it into non-loss territory.
Right.
I like that. I like the fact that it's a steady upward. Very. I look at us kind of like a blue collar team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gutting it out. They're grinding it out. It's not
right.
fancy, sophisticated, erudite soccer, but it's workmanlike.
Right.
And it's
Houston Dynamo.
Yeah.
And I think 2 things you learn is one, it seemed like things were going downhill really fast at the beginning of the schedule, and now they're not. They're slowly building back out of that hole. But the other thing is strength of schedule is a big deal. You start off like that, and that you realize those are good teams. So they're maybe not going to get as good a results as fans would like, but then you get to face some teams like New England without Charlie Joseph, Montreal Impact. These are now finally going to get a chance to get in a groove, and get some of that confidence from your swagger and some points back,
Right. I mean, in MLS, it's not always who you play; it's when you play them.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean,
true.
We played New England when they were missing Charlie Joseph. I thought New England was a pretty hot team at the time, and then their captain get disciplinary action. We can talk about that later. But so we took advantage of it. I thought anyone's gonna say they missed Charlie, and they did.
They weren't so shabby though. I mean,
no,
New England is a force, and we talked about Jose Moreno, and
then he scores.
Yeah,
he was a beautiful goal. I'll say why I think he was wide open later for the negatives because it's definitely not positive. But I mean, Willis was another positive, right? Here he is again. I think you thought maybe we'll call you out. Hamid, you thought, I think Hamid might get the start, right? And now
I did too.
It's the same question, right? Like, can you possibly take him out? He had an amazing save, and his post was his friend again. Saves it, pushes it just enough, right?
I felt like he bobbled a couple. I thought he did a great job throughout the game, but I noticed a bunch of times the ball coming out, him not like containing it and smothering it. Which can happen to anybody. But I'm wondering if the front office is saying the same thing I'm saying, seeing and saying, this might be a logical time to shift Mr. Hamid back in. Just to. It's a great problem to have, as we said.
It is. I always think if it's
working, go forward with it. I feel that way too.
But I hear you too. You don't want to wait too long, right?
Yeah.
This is the nature of the beast. It is when you have 2 players who are capable of playing. I mean, their job is to be ready when they're called upon. So Willis was called upon, and he's been doing a good job. Bill unfortunately dealt with the injury, and
Yeah.
so I again would want to be in Ben's shoes, but if it's me, I don't want to change it.
Yeah.
I mean,
best backup goalie in MLS right now, right?
Yeah, is he backup? He might.
I mean, going into the season, he was the backup.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good result from the backup.
And let's mention at this time, Andrew Dykes is out of town for what, 2 games.
Matches, yeah.
He went back to Charleston.
Yeah,
Poor
which is
kid.
good.
Poor kid, back to Charleston.
I think it's
Playing
great
time,
to
right?
get him out and in
yeah.
the goal, and keep him in the mix game wise. I think it only makes him stronger.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's always good. I mean, we're seeing that with Connor Schnauze. He's playing 290 minutes in a row, and
Right.
so it's always good to get time when you're a third string keeper is such a hard job.
It's got to be, yeah. I thought
it's got to be so frustrating. I mean, I saw it for a while, and I actually didn't really see too many get shipped out for a week's on time, but
it does seem like a
mentally,
short loan, doesn't it?
It's so difficult.
Connors is like for the whole USL season.
Yeah,
or NASL,
yeah.
But
He might go back with them when if they need him again, or if DC thinks that there's not really any chance of him getting time. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, Andrew's a good goalie, and he's very professional. So he's approaching his games and wanting to win and wanting to prove himself into United that he actually is capable.
I think him getting game time is just a positive.
It is. It is.
And speaking of Connor, I see that they're playing the San Antonio Scorpions this week.
Yeah.
they had a great. I read an article. They had a good opening game. 13,000 people.
Dude, they've been trying to get a team for some years, so this is going to be. They're going to be making some noise down there.
I've been following that on social media because Mark Washoe used to be the general manager for the Freedom, and he's part of the group that's been getting them ready and prepping them, marketing them. So you just see the whole thing, and I guess the stadium's really nice, and they got fans there. I guess
they're building their own stadium.
They are. They're going to
open next year. Yeah,
that's hard to believe. You already have. That's just Texas. It's gigantic, right? You have
Texas,
2 pro MLS teams, and you're going to have a minor league or Division II level team fill stadium like that. That's for a brand new team. Wow.
They just dug up an extra parking lot that they had.
Hey, good for them. I mean, they probably poured out some of that oil money that they've got. Speaking of, so can I segue that into the Impact game? I've just the Impact came on my radar. I watched some of their highlights last week. And I see that they've got a beautiful stadium up in Montreal, which is coming online this season. They're going to have the next 10 days off after meeting DC, but they're going to be playing in their new Saputo Stadium. Got naming rights from some cheese concern, a northern cheese concern. Saputo.
French cheese or the French cheese?
I looked them up.
Probably Canadian.
On their French Canadian, possibly.
French Canadian.
Yeah. A lot of good cheese, it looks like. Anyway, they've got the spare capital to bankroll, at least in naming purposes, a beautiful stadium.
That's great.
21st century stadium.
How frustrating is that? I mean, another year, Kansas City last year, and you got to see all the, the super nice locker room. It's all round, custom lighting. It looks like the Dallas Mavericks, right? They got, Mark Cuban style locker room for the players. And and for fan perspective, right on top of the pitch, super close. You get to just be really part of the action. And for United, they're known for their supporters groups. Can you imagine playing in DC with them right on top of you? Because people already comment on how important they are in the 12th man.
And how they make the atmosphere.
Yeah, let's put them right on there and see the difference.
Fortress.
It's so frustrating.
Beating a dead horse, isn't it?
We're the nation's capital. Don't we deserve that? I mean, we
get flyovers from our shuttles. It's retiring. I mean, we can't get a soccer stadium. Come on.
Surely we can. Vincent Orange.
I'll work on it.
Mayor Gray.
Come on.
DC Council. Make this a priority. You know what we can't have happen?
It takes an act of Congress. I mean,
we can't lose.
Write a letter.
We can't lose our MLS franchise just on something like this. I'm worried that another East Coast city, let's say, I don't know, Baltimore, offers up some kind of incentive program because they're very pro sports and they're business development oriented.
They may or may not have a plot ready for it.
Could it be anything worse?
I just drove by and it said future home of, and then it just said
it's blank.
Yeah, it's just blank.
Baltimore Bows.
The Bohemians.
All right.
Last.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
What about players to watch from Montreal? There's not a lot. You're gonna have to.
There's your man Nyasi, right?
Yeah.
And who else?
Andrew Wenger, first round draft pick.
Andrew Wenger, yes.
Scored a goal.
Goal scorer.
I don't know. Again, it's a team that don't really know too much about it.
Expansion team, kind of new.
Union player Justin Knapp, is that?
Justin Knapp.
Oh, Matt, also formerly of the Chicago Fire.
Yeah,
Fire. Yeah,
he's a hard worker.
Good player.
Yeah.
Good player. I mean, So it's a team that, we said they should certainly beat.
Yeah.
You have to take advantage of.
Yes. From your mouth to the soccer god's ears.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So that's about all I have to say about that.
Statistically, I was looking and nobody really stands out. They got about a handful of guys with a goal. The only guy, Nas, he has 20 shots, 12 and 1 on target, a goal and an assist. But the interesting, I think, he has 3 yellow cards. I don't know with the whole issues.
Touch tackle? Tackle soccer? Lose possession so he gets whacked.
Yeah, I say get on him, if that's the only guy.
Is he running out of ideas?
Okay. Maybe he's frustrated because they're playing horrible, I don't know. And then Mapp has 12 shots on goal, but there's really nobody on paper you go like, this guy could explode. Yeah,
Okay. These are the teams that we tend to. You cannot take them seriously and they can slip by it. So.
Yeah, but you have to beat them.
Yes, this is a must-win situation. 100% must-win.
Line.
Yeah.
Because as fans, we're not really focused on Montreal.
Right.
Just on New York.
Yeah, and that's again where the strength of schedule, right? This is the end of the easier portion, and then kick in. You got New York.
And keep in mind that after DC, Montreal's got 10 days off. So don't forget, they might be having like a throwdown.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Nothing to lose.
Okay. All right. Are you going to the game? You gonna be there?
I
McTavish Suite? Oh.
I won't. The McTavish Suite. No, I gave that to a charity.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice for you.
Yeah.
All right.
But I will be trying to go to the New York game.
All right.
I mean, it's a big time rival.
Yeah.
New York's on fire.
Yeah, they are.
So
Terry Henry.
once we get these 3 points tomorrow,
there's a lot of reasons to.
I think it'll be a good matchup.
Yeah, I think that'll be a great game.
Yeah.
New York kind of embarrassed DC last year at RFK. I was at that game.
I mean, it was like men against boys.
Yeah, not just scoring, but I mean, I even left like 5 minutes early and I heard cheering, thinking, oh, maybe they're finally scoring. I heard cheering, so I thought, and it was Agudelo coming on to get another goal late. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? And it wasn't just a win; they pounded them.
Yeah, it was 4-1. It was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of in the same situation where they were flying when they came to RFK. And which is a bit scary. Yeah, when Thierry Henry gets going, I mean, he's got his Cooper going. Cooper couldn't find anything.
He's MVP style right now. He's on
Cooper
fire.
couldn't find anything in Portland, and then he gets up next to Thierry Henry, and I mean, Cooper's a good player. So
and they're working all together.
So I think Henry made Rodgers look good last year. Maybe he just makes the people around him look good.
He makes everyone look good.
Yeah.
So those Gillette blades. He just passes them out, in the locker room, and everyone looks good.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's sponsored by Gillette. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't know that. No, I've seen him on their ads.
Yeah.
Must be a sweet deal.
And then there's the Dax McCarty deal, right? Who mouthed off a lot last year. Last year that backfired, but you gave out an interesting stat on Twitter about him scoring more goals this season than D-Row. But I loved the fact that he said all that stuff last year. I'm going to show DC that New York got the better of the deal and.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Again, there's the ex-player factor, right?
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't here too long. He didn't spread out too
many. But he seemed pretty bitter
stuff.
pretty quick, so.
Yeah. It just didn't really work out here for whatever reason. And, he seems to be liking it in New York. He's starting
he's doing well up there.
Yeah, he's doing well. So
he's gelling with the team.
He's move on.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he'll be glad to come back and play.
He's getting really red during the game.
Yeah, he worked hard.
Yeah.
He did.
Well, he's fair complected.
He is too, which is I don't know how it landed in Dallas. I mean, how do you do that? But he's from Orlando, so I mean, he knows the Heat community.
Right. So he can't help the genetic handies.
No.
Hey, Dax McCarty. All right, former number 10. He's one of the few guys I know who's able to change his Twitter name. He was Dax McCarty 10, now he's Dax McCarty 11.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping Danny Cruz can do the same thing and become Danny Cruz 2. He's Danny Cruz 5.
Danny Cruz Missile.
Yeah,
I still ride that one. I think the last person still hanging on the nickname. But
I wouldn't wait for that one. But how did the numbers work? Why didn't D-Row become the 10 when he came here? Why was only the number 10?
D-Row doesn't. I don't think he likes number 10.
Okay.
He's got his number 7.
Yeah.
When D-Row came in, I remember them going to Kinger, because Kinger was 7 and said, hey, would you mind if this new signing took your number? Who is it? D. Rosario?
Yeah.
Can't really keep my 7 and D. Rosario's coming in.
I like the lucky 7. It's cool. I've got the mythology of the number 10.
Yeah, he plays like a 10.
Yeah, he does play like a 10 very much now, especially.
Maybe a little more hardworking on the defensive end than a true number 10.
Yeah.
But he wears that 7 well.
He does. So we're looking for him to open his account this season.
He is, and if he doesn't do it against Montreal, I would put money against New York. I mean, I think he's still trying to prove to them, hey, look.
He won't give up until he gets his goal.
He's going to go into this game singing "Oh Canada," man. He's going to put some into the goal, and he's going to here, my Canadian brothers. Here's something for you.
Yeah. Here's a.
I got you.
I'll teach you a little something.
Yeah. Did you see on Twitter somebody put the Canadian tifo and it was just a white flag? They said they'll be flying that at our
Did not see that.
So I think that's a good idea.
Very clever.
Will Rafa Marquez be out?
Yes.
That's good. That might be a good.
Yeah, what happened? I mean, I saw what he did. So how many?
There hasn't been action yet as of taping time. Maybe as of broadcast time there will be, but.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a dirty play. He threw a little kick in there at the end on Shea Salinas, and unnecessary. And we know the disciplinary committee, they're going to, since the ref missed it, they'll for sure slap a penalty.
I think no words come out yet because they can't count that high as to how many games they're going to suspend him for.
Forever.
I saw a suggestion that he should be out as long as Salinas is.
I've always thought that I don't think it was dirty, but I remember a couple of years ago, Ricardo Clark kicked someone on the ground, like right in the gut.
And unfortunately, there were a bunch of replays of it.
Yeah. And in an instance like that, I mean, I don't know Ricardo Clark. I heard he's a super nice guy, but his emotions got the best of him. But I always feel like you should be out for as long as the player is out.
Yeah.
It's hard not to improve the reputation, right? Rafa's just not a good guy. He does this stuff before. It wasn't just a.
He does have a history of dirty
one time.
He does, yeah. He does.
He's
a cheeky.
That, I mean, hopefully that could be a positive. They won't have him.
Yeah,
certainly. Good on the field, so.
Yeah, I think that's another one that certainly we should win at RFK. We're starting to build a bit of a fortress, trying to. Yeah. So
need to win, must win. I hope we get a good midweek crowd for tomorrow's game, and then I think the supporters will really be out for the New York game.
Absolutely, nice tailgate going.
Yeah,
all you fans of United out there, show your support on Wednesday and Saturday.
All right, we have the shout out section.
Yeah, shout out.
Okay.
I'll leave you. I don't really have any shout-outs this week.
Who's your shirt by there, Dad?
I got a shout-out for Soccer in the Streets. It's a Atlanta-based organization that run by Jason Longshore. And basically, I had to write it down here. Soccer in the Streets empowers kids who lack opportunity by using soccer as a medium. So basically what it is they go into schools, kind of underprivileged kids, and they teach them soccer and skills of soccer and pretty much life skills. So it's an organization aimed to, benefit kids and prepare them for the future through soccer.
Yeah, sounds like a good thing.
Yeah. Awesome. So thanks for the shirt.
So thanks, Jason. I met up with Jason. I guess I'll join on the shout out. He seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Big DC United fan. He said he'll be there Wednesday. He used to do a podcast. I can't remember the name of it, but
nice. And he's it's based out of Atlanta, so technically DC is the closest team. Right?
That's what I guess
so. All right.
They're fans.
Yeah. Fans of United. Good to know. Shout-outs? You got some shout-outs?
My shout-out, I guess, Nick De Leon. I like the guy. I like his hair to begin with, and then there's substance to the hair, I like it. I think people need to start wearing wigs, support him. I love his confidence. I love, how Devon pointed out, just dribbling the ball, taking it to the corner. Yeah. I like everything about the way that guy plays. He could easily become a fan favorite, because he earns it.
Pretty sophisticated player for someone of his biological age, and also, first time in the MLS.
Yeah, he's got the skill, he's physical, he hustles, he's confident. He has the package of what you want from a young guy,
Huge impact player. I love the fact that it's the guys that we really didn't see coming who are making a big impact, again, no pun intended, on the game and on the field.
I might be intending it now.
All right, my shout out goes to Devon Lassiter. He sent me a note saying, shaking my head, D-route. So,
I saw that.
So, all right, Devon, thank you for watching. Appreciate it, man. Send me your address, send you a Fans of United sticker. And, oh, by the way, if anybody wants a Fans of United sticker, that's what they look like. Got a little blowback from the suburban moms this week.
I saw that, too.
And if you want one, let us know.
We've already had a couple people order them.
So all right, great. Yeah, we've got a link on the website where you can order it, and it's right here. This web address right here.
Nice.
Yeah. And other than that, we look forward to interacting with you. Send us a note. We'll play requests. If you've got a shout out you want us to do, let us know. We'll do it.
Yeah, keep us informed. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Till next time.
Okay.
See you later.
Great.